Welcome back everybody to another edition of World of Tanks Xbox 360. My name as always is Maxwell, and today we are going to be talking about, as you may have guessed from the title, what to do when you find yourself in a no-win situation. This one's on Wide Park. I'm going to be using the T23 Premium Medium Tank. It doesn't really matter what tank I'm using, this is going to be a video about what to do when you find yourself in that no-win situation. Now, I'm not talking about just a total whitewash, a team no-win situation, because obviously that's just very simple what you do. You just cause as much damage as possible to as many enemies as possible so that you can at least claw something back and get some experience and credits for your efforts. Well, this video is going to be talking about what to do when you find yourself in a personal no-win situation, but when your team is possibly in a situation to win. So what I mean by this is you find yourself cornered by a bunch of enemies, or you find that your flank is getting totally overrun, but the other flank is winning. So this is just going to be a chat about what to do when you find yourself in that situation, which is exactly what we find ourselves in here. There are a few of us over on this flank here, but the majority of our team is elsewhere, and it looks like the majority of the enemy team is here where we are. So the first thing you want to do is just try and cause as much damage as possible. Of course, at the moment, this doesn't feel like a no-win situation, although we've got two of our biggest heavy tanks camping in the middle of base. You may have seen my microphone activate in the bottom right-hand corner there. I'm basically just saying, guys on the left-hand flank, push as quick as you can, because we've got the majority of the enemies here. And basically what you want to do is just cause as much damage as possible, like before, to as many enemies as possible. You see, I find this AT-8 here, and I'm going to pound down on him until he decides to leave, because I know exactly where his weak spot is. Managed to get him to leave, can't get a shot on the Tiger there, but I've got my counterpart, the other T23 here. I do a terrible job of aiming at his weak spot. First hit his track. But I mean, I'm using premium rounds here just because you get them free with the tank, so it's not like they're actually costing me gold or a vast amount of credits. And I wanted to do as much damage to as many people on this flank as possible. I do take a big hit there, so I decide to have one more shot, and then me and the M6 drop back. So as you can see, it's just me and this M6 heavy tank on this flank now, with the majority of the enemy tanks. So like I said, what you want to do is just cause damage to people, and then once you start taking fire, fall back. And basically it's the idea of a tactical retreat. As you can see, at least 80% of the enemy team is here. So I'm probably going to get on the microphone. What you want to do first thing is get on the microphone if you've got one. Definitely use it and just say, look guys on the other flank, push. Just go and get on that flank as quick as you can and start winning. I derp out real hard here and turn the wrong direction whilst running away. Don't manage to get anything on that on my counterpart, that other T23, although I keep aiming at him and he gets taken out in the end anyway, so that's not too bad. And then what you want to do is, like I'm doing here, just continue to fall back and take up different defensive positions. So just got to take the time to go and mute somebody being an absolute moron here on the mic. So you basically want to fall back and take what available cover there is. Originally I didn't want to fall back this far, but I was having to spend the time to mute that guy. So I'm going to come up here and use the building as cover. You want to flee to the nearest cover. It's no good falling back too far, because you want to leave yourself as many different places to fall back to as possible. Just missed the 30-01 there, which is a little bit of a shame, but then we find the AT-15. Luckily, I know exactly where his weak spot is as well, but I've got to be careful because he's got a big cannon. Take a hit there. I think about going back in for another shot, but I realise I've only got nearly 300 hit points left. And again, I'm getting on the microphone just saying, look guys on the left-hand flank, push as fast as you can, because we've got the whole enemy team here. And then as you take fire, you want to fall back again to the next nearest piece of cover, and for me, it's this pile of rubble and these ruins over here. Now we have got a heavy tank hiding behind the ruins here. I think it's a Tiger, and because we've got this nice little window here, I'm going to try and offer him some support from here. But there's nobody. I'll get a little bit confused as to where that medium tank is. I can just about see him through the crack there, so I'm going to have a good shot. Damaged his turret. So he's gonna fall back and get out of there. And as you can see, they've got a tank destroyer and a heavy tank on that left-hand side. So again, just put fire into them as quick as possible. I'm going to get into a stupid duel with a Churchill 7 here, and I have nowhere near the penetration on my gun to be able to hurt him consistently. And as you can see, just bouncing on his turret there. But he doesn't realise that, so I'm going to try and offer some help to our Tiger here. I don't realise that the medium tank's actually behind those buildings, so I get a little bit confused here as to where he is. But that Tiger's taking way too much damage. He needs to fall back and get back into cover, because if he can lead them around the corner, then I can help him out. As it is, he stands and tries to duel with this AT-15, which is a really, really stupid idea. But again, luckily, I know where his weak spot is, so I'm able to put 3 good shots onto him. And then I fall back and try and get back into cover. Make a little bit of a mistake here of moving across probably a little bit too early, and I take a hit there. And then the plan now would have been, I thought that T-32 was blocking the Churchill Mark 7 shot, and I was going to try and sneak around behind the AT-15. I realise now what I should have done in that situation is waited until the AT-15 was about to come around the corner and then move, because there's no other cover to fall back to over there. I think about returning back to garage there, but then I think, nope, this can be a good learning process for people. So yeah, there was no other cover for me to fall back to, so the idea then would be to try and flank around the base. You just want to give them the runaround for as long as possible, because we've got guys on the other flank that were going to be going for the base capture. As you can see, our Black Prince, I think it is going for the base capture. So your job is to hold up the enemy for as long as possible. So the idea would have been wait for that AT-15 to come as he's about to come around the corner, then you make the move forward and try and flank around the side of him. And again, just try and give them the runaround for as long as possible. Now the problem we've got here is we've got the Black Prince capping, but our Panther and our Tiger 2 are super, super damaged. Like, as you can see, our Panther here has 17 hit points. But as you can see, the enemy only has 2 tank destroyers left because of the determined defense that we managed to put up. Other people in the area were able to get some good hits onto people. Our Black Prince still going for the cap here, and our Tiger 2 only has 86 hit points left. Excuse me. And these guys just don't want to get shot, basically, and that's all well and good. But what they need to do is keep eyes on the enemy and make sure they're not going to get in to our Black Prince anytime soon. I mean, luckily they're pretty slow tank destroyers, so they don't really have much of a choice. One of them starts a base capture, but there's no way he's going to finish that. I think he's just going through trying to take on the Hummel. But to be honest, I mean, with where we've got the base capture now at 90%, this thing is won, and it's all because of the defense that we managed to put up in that northern flank, just holding up the enemy for as long as possible. You see the Tiger 2 doing the same thing, presenting himself as a target with only 86 hit points left, gets the tank destroyer to turn around and focus on him anyway. So like I said, the idea is you just want to move backwards from cover to cover, move to the closest cover you can find, have a couple of shots, back off again, and just try and give the enemy the runaround for as long as possible, so they can't capture the base. As you see there, nearly 5,000 XP and nearly 80,000 credits for that one. If we have a look at the round as well, didn't do too badly. Got the 3rd highest damage and the 3rd highest experience in that one. Our Tiger 2, who got hurt real bad there, I think. I'm not sure if that was the Tiger 2 that was alive at the end, but I mean, look at that, 3,500 points of damage. He had an absolutely brilliant game. So basically, that's everything that you need to do when you find yourself in a no-win situation. Move from cover to cover, move to the closest cover that you can find to give yourself more opportunities to back off, and then just try and stall the enemy for as long as possible. Give them the runaround, just run around the houses with them and get them to stay out of that cap circle for as long as you can before you die. So hope you found this video useful. If you did, leave me a like or favourite. If you've got any other questions, then leave me a comment in the comment section below. For those of you asking, I probably will do a guide for the M3 Lee soon. Problem is, I'm not really a big fan of the M3 Lee, so it may be a little bit delayed. But I'm going to get to it, and I am going to do it because plenty of people have been asking. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and you're not already, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for a lot more World of Tanks Xbox 360 Edition videos in the future. I have been Maxwell. This has obviously been World of Tanks Xbox 360 Edition, and I will catch you guys next time.